Grand Rising. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, I'm going to give all praise to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the Earthly Mother. Who is wisdom? Who is Holy Spirit? Acknowledge it, Yahweh Shai. I pray the Most High bless this lesson this evening. Gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past and or scientists are currently happening on the earth. So we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Psalms 83 has worked to destroy the greatness of the Most High's chosen people. Now, we have seen that they have lifted up many different people in our lands, taking and stealing the identity of our people. Again, there's just layers and layers that these people have gone through to disconnect us from our power, from our history, and from all of the great things that belong to us. So when you're reading certain books and things like that, just know to kind of dodge the hijack, dodge the stuff that they just throw in there. Because they're always talking about you. It's the whole world against us. And now it's going to be the whole world going into torments and us coming out. So you look at Psalms 83, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Now, knowing Israel means to also know the great things that we are capable of when the Most High is with us. And as you can see, they are terrified the fact that we are on that track right now. We're on that track to get our knowledge and understanding back. I'm going to show you a little something here from this book. Ancient Mysteries of the Mexican and Mayan Pyramids. Like I'm telling you, that book I have from 1786 is talking about Mexicans. Well, there's no such thing as Mexico. So what kind of Mexicans are we talking about? See, they've come in and they just like Indians. Oh, we thought we were in India. Are you serious? You can't tell the difference between an Indian and what you saw when you got here? It was just nothing but confusion as soon as these people have shown up. Because they were given the blessing, they were able to just push that confusion this whole time. But not anymore. And that's why now the Most High has shut their mouths. And now they don't even try to defend their lies anymore. They're just caught red-handed. So I'm going to take a look at this real quick. So Psalms 83. It says, in the Mexican capital, Humboldt discovered that many relics of the Aztec civilization had been destroyed. One of the most important artifacts left was the Aztec calendar stone, a huge stone disc of gray black basalt measuring 12 feet across. The stone was almost a yard thick. So, these people, like I said, got off the boat, burning books, and trying to hide artifacts from jump. That's a huge undertaking. Because, again, these people are trying to tell our history when they had nothing to do with our people, our history, or anything that was happening over here. Okay? So the stone had been discovered in 1790 when the Viceroy of Mexico had ordered the Plaza Mayor to be improved. While workmen were digging a ditch near the Viceroy's palace, their shovels struck a hard object, okay, beneath the surface. It was believed the calendar stone had been buried there during the conquest when Cortez ordered that all large statues and artifacts be destroyed or buried. Why? So that nothing would remind the natives of their earlier glory. That there is Psalms 83 to the T. Hiding anything that will remind us of our glory. See, we're the only ones that don't have a history. We're the only ones that don't have any knowledge or understanding of where we come from. We're the only ones that don't seem to have any glory of the past. Because that was all part of Psalms 83. To make the name of Israel just not be in remembrance again. And this is a prime example. So see, they still talk about the greatness of the so-called Aztecs that they show you today. They still show you the greatness of the Mayans that they want to show you today. So the fact that they're saying that these Mayans you're seeing today are the people, that does not go with this right here. Just like they want to say, oh, these are the Aztecs today. They were the ones that were here during ancient times. That shows you that they can't be, because they were hell-bent on making it so that these people had no knowledge of their earlier glory. So we got a whole lot of people running around here claiming that they built these pyramids. They built Chichen Itza. Right? They were the ones that built this Aztec calendar. But this is telling you that Cortez, he ordered that all large statues and artifacts be destroyed or buried, so that nothing would remind the natives of their earlier glory. We are those original people, because we are the ones that they just stripped and said we have no knowledge, no understanding whatsoever. So if you keep on, everyone wants to take credit, like, oh, these are the Irish. Well, you guys have gone out of your way to try to really disconnect us from the true Irish. Oh, we're the British. You guys went ahead trying to disconnect us from being the true British. Oh, those are the people. Well, I'm sure you went out of your way. If you're trying to cut these so-called Mexicans here, or these so-called natives here, these so-called aborigines, you're trying to destroy their knowledge of their former glory, then wouldn't you do the same thing for the Israelites, wanting to destroy them and disconnect them from their glory, and pretty much just put up another people in order so that you wouldn't look for, or we would not look for our glory, thinking that those were the people that have always been here and those are the people that have all the glory. See, you guys are caught red-handed. And see, this is why it talks about the dove. You talk about Solomon, the Keys of Solomon, the book right there, about the dove coming back over the Americas. Because the Most High is going to send the Holy Spirit to bring all things back into remembrance. And we're going to get into something, because I'm reading this other book about the brain. And it's talking about remind. The Holy Spirit has to remind us of who we are. But it's not only just about history. It is also about redoing or remaking our mind. I'm going to show you the book on another video. But it's talking about, like, a remind is also like recalibrating our minds. We have been programmed to think a certain way, and we have to reprogram our minds once again. And the prerequisite of being able to remind or redo our mind is to break away from this system. The Most High has been getting us ready for this whole remind, restructure of our minds for all these years by disconnecting us from this reality. You have to go from being something to nothing in order to walk away from all that you've been taught, so that the Holy Spirit can remind you. She can change your way you think, change the way you see yourself. You have to be separate. We'll talk about that later on. But this is letting you know right here that they have, right, it was believed the calendar stone had been buried there during the conquest, when Cortez ordered that all large statues and artifacts be destroyed or buried, so that nothing will remind the natives of their glory. And look, the next paragraph. Although the stone had been buried for almost 2 centuries, the elaborate carvings on the front were unharmed. So see, 2 centuries, they hid all this information. They hid the greatness of our people in order to destroy our minds. They knew about our glory. But you're going to trust these people and think that they're telling you the truth about who you are and who we are, when for 2 centuries they just buried it and act as if we had no glory. We had nothing. All the while they knew what was buried in the city. These people know what was built there, but they all were Confederate and had taken crafty counsel to disconnect us from our knowledge of who we were and how powerful we are. So you understand, these people knew. They know they were under orders, just like today. They are under orders to not tell us the truth. I'm going to share something else with you. The Queen Moo Book. And this was crazy because I had gotten this book, so I had to look to see how much it was. And there were 2 books like this one. One was $950 and another one was $1,200. I looked to see what these books are going for now, and those 2 books are gone. This book has so much information. I'm just touching in the preface, and there's so much information. It's like the author is writing a book really like from our point of view. Things that like they tell us how we need to be, how we need to accept what's happened to us and not want recompense. But this person's like, oh no, that's not how this is going down. The author, Le Plongeon. Let me show you a little bit. The highlighted section right there. Now that 355 years have elapsed since their country, our country, became part of the domain of the Spanish crown, one might think, and not a few do try to persuade themselves and others, that old feuds, rancor, and distrust must be forgotten. See, that's what they tell us. You just got to forget about it. Just move along. Yeah, we're not doing that. Most High is not doing that. Okay? So it must be forgotten. In fact, must be replaced by friendship, confidence, gratitude, even for all the blessings received at the hands of the Spaniards. Like, we need to be friendly with them, give confidence to them, be gracious to them, right? And for all the blessings received at the hands of, like, you guys have been blessing us. We should be happy that you raped and robbed and murdered our forefathers. You lied about everything. You buried all of the evidence of our greatness. We should be happy for that, for these blessings that you've brought to us, keeping us at the bottom, thinking that the Most High is never going to recompense you. Have us pray against our own best interests. Have us vote to keep you in power. Not going to happen. It says, not the least among these, the destruction of their idolatrous rites, the knowledge of the true God, and the mode of worshiping. Okay, He likes best. And they cut us off from being able to worship our power. Right? They gave us their idolatry. Have us worshiping their gods, praying to their saints for their benefit. Okay? So good. And the mode of worshiping He likes best, notwithstanding the unfair means used by their good friends. Okay? Those of the long gowns. Those long gowns are talking about their priests. Okay? So those of the long gowns, to force such blessings and knowledge upon them. So you priests have, forced these blessings, these horrible treatments, and your horrible knowledge and understanding upon us. We should be happy about this, supposedly. So, and cause them to forget and forego the customs and manners of their forefathers. That's what you guys have done. That's what your priests have done. Forced us, right? Forced such blessings and knowledge upon them, and cause them to forget and forego the customs and manners of their forefathers. That's what you've done to us. Today, when the Aborigines are said to be free citizens of the Republic of Mexico, entitled to all the rights and privileges that the Constitution is supposed to confer on all men born within the boundaries of the country, we are still seeking fair treatment. We're still seeking justice. Okay? Because they yet seek, and with good cause, the seclusion of the recesses of the densest forest, far away from the haunts of their white fellow citizens, to perform in secrecy certain ancient rites and religious practices. Okay, so we have to be separated from you in order to be able to pretty much follow our ways. But these are the kinds of things that you guys have been pushing and ignoring now, 350 something years later. In fact, you talk about love, 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 and how we need to love our neighbor when you never did so. So you can see, like in these books, in this information, that the Most High has been giving it to us in chunks. He's been chunking all this information and giving it to us bit by bit. And now, as you can see, all of these things have to be given back. All of the things you took have to be given back. We have to be awakened in the lands of our captivities to realize that these lands are ours, and that you and everyone that's with you is going to have to pay. So I just wanted to give you a little taste of what's to come. All praise is Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to Earthly Mother. Who is wisdom? Who is Holy Spirit? Acknowledge Yahweh Shai. Shalom.